We'll begin seated, taking a moment to notice our relationship with the earth through the soles of the feet, our seat on the chair, our relationship with the sky through the crown of the head, and the way the breath inhabits the body. Placing one foot on the thigh of the other leg. Begin by rubbing the sole of the foot. Awakening the energy in the sole so that we can connect more easily to the earth beneath our feet. Noticing the sensations between the sole of the foot and the palm of the hand. And then, letting this practice come to a close, we'll take our thumbs to a point on the sole of the foot called the kidney 1 point or bubbling spring. When you scrunch up the foot, it's right there just below the ball of the foot in that little indentation that's formed. So taking one thumb or both thumbs, or maybe the knuckles, to massage this point. In this practice, we will work with the kidney and bladder meridians more thoroughly, as they are the organs that are associated with the winter season. So here we're waking up the kidney 1 point, opening the start of the river channel of the kidney meridian. And from here we will trace with our fingers the whole kidney meridian. So gently pressing towards the inner ankle. The meridian makes a little circle just behind the inner ankle, then comes up the inside of the leg to the inside of the knee, continues up the inner thigh, to a point right in the center of the pelvic floor. And then we'll continue up just a little bit off the center of the body towards the foot that we've been working with, up to the diaphragm. From here, the meridian moves a little bit towards the shoulder before turning back up to end just below the collarbone. So it's about 2 to 3 finger widths from the center of the body, just below the collarbone. And come closer so you can see a point right here. We'll just massage this point. letting the firmness or gentleness of the pressure match what you need. Listening to the body. And releasing that, we're going to come to the other foot. Start by rubbing the sole of the foot. Awaken the energy at this entry point to the kidney meridian. First, more broadly by rubbing. And when you feel you've generated enough energy or heat, you can move to massaging the bubbling spring point, kidney 1, on this side. Again, it's located just below the ball of the foot in the center. Letting the intention be to open the flow of energy through the entry point of the kidney channel. So not to force anything through, but to gently clear the leaves away from the drains, so to speak. So the water or the energy can flow freely into the meridian. And then continuing, tracing the kidney meridian, coming to just behind the inner ankle. The meridian makes a little loop here and then continues up the inner leg to the side of the knee, up the inner thigh, runs through the point in the center of the pelvic floor, and then just off to one side, off the center of the body towards the diaphragm, where it moves a little bit towards the shoulder before turning straight back up to end below the collarbone. Again, it's about 2 or 3 finger widths from the center line of the body, just below the collarbone. And we'll massage here at the exit point. Noticing how your body is responding. What are you feeling as you massage this acupuncture point? What's changing in your experience, if anything? And releasing your hand. We'll move to the bladder channel next. So we're going to come up to stand. You can put your chair aside now. And the bladder meridian starts right in the corners of the inner corners of the eye. If you'd like, you can place your fingers and really gently massage here. If it's uncomfortable for you to touch your eyes, you can come to the second point on the bladder channel, which is on the inside of the eyebrows, and massage the second point instead. But if you are comfortable placing your fingers this close to the eyes, maybe closing the eyes can help. And give a really gentle massage. Again, with the intention of opening the entry point to this meridian, to this river of energy that runs through your body. If you are working with the corner of the eye, you can now move to the inner corner of the eyebrow. And from here, we will trace the whole bladder meridian, which runs over the top of the head. So here I'm using gentle tapping to awaken the energy there. It continues down the back of the head, all the way to the C7 vertebra, where it splits into 4 channels. So I like to tap here a little bit harder on either side of the C7 vertebra, the backs of the shoulders. And then these 4 channels run down either side of the spine, over the buttocks, down the backs of the legs. And they come out to the outer edges of the foot, ending at the outer toenail of the baby foot. You can tap a little bit at the outer toenail of the baby foot if you can reach. From here, we will flow energy through both the kidney channel and the bladder channel. So we're going to stroke up the kidney channel, drawing energy in. And then we're going to stroke down the bladder channel, releasing energy back out. Inhaling, drawing energy in through the kidney channel. Exhaling, releasing energy out through the bladder channel. 3 more times like this. Inhaling, drawing in fresh energy. Exhaling, releasing as waste what is no longer needed. And last time. And rolling up to stand. Noticing how you feel now. Having moved energy through some of the rivers of the body, we'll come to the center of the body now. Awaken the energy here. So taking gentle fists as if you could hold baby birds and massaging the lower back where the kidneys themselves are located. Awakening the energy both in the kidneys, which house our essence energy, our deepest reserves. But also awakening the energy in the back of the dantian, the reservoir of energy, of very usable energy in the center of our body, located in the center of the pelvis in the lower belly. You might start to feel a little bit of warmth, some heat between your hands and your lower back. And then bringing the palms to the lower belly. And we're going to just draw circles here, either direction you choose. If you have just eaten recently, I might recommend moving in the clockwise direction, so coming up the right, down the left side of the body in the direction of your digestion. Awakening now the front of the dantian, of our energy center. And again, connecting with any sensations of warmth you might begin to feel in your lower belly. And letting the movement come to a close. Leaving the palms of the hands at your lower belly. Connecting with this reservoir of energy in the center of your pelvis with your dantian. Inviting the breath to take root in the center of the dantian. So that you could almost feel that you are inhaling and exhaling out of the center of the dantian, the center of your pelvis. And maybe you begin to sense and feel that as you inhale, the dantian gently expands in all directions, front and back, up and down to the sides. And as you exhale, the dantian gently contracts or folds back on itself, back to the center point. And connecting with this sense of gentle expansion of the dantian with inhalation and a gentle contraction of the dantian with exhalation. If you enjoy visualization, you might imagine a point of light in the center of your pelvis, the center of the dantian, or a little candle. And as you inhale, the flame or the light gets a little bit stronger, the light reaching at the top of inhalation, the entire dantian. And then as you're exhaling, the light's getting a little bit dimmer. So the light seemingly returns back to the center of the dantian. And light being a form of energy. And releasing the hands, we're going to take this practice of primal pulse a little bit further. Inhaling, the arms will lift the shoulder height. Exhaling, they will descend. The inhalation and the exhalation still originate and return to the center of the dantian. And as you inhale, arms rising, energy expands through the dantian and through your whole body. Exhaling, energy contracts back towards the center of the dantian, returning, draining from your whole body, so to speak. Inhaling, energy expanding through the dantian and your body. Exhaling, energy returning back to its source in the center of the dantian. If you've been working with the visualization of the light, you might imagine now that as you inhale and the candle flame gets brighter, the light illuminates your whole dantian and continues until it illuminates your whole body, all the way to the fingertips and toes. And exhaling, the light gets dimmer, everything returning back to center, back to source. Leaving the arms by the sides now, we'll expand our awareness even further. Inhaling, allow the energy to expand through the dantian, through the whole body, and into the space around the body. Exhaling, energy contracts, returning back to the center of the dantian. If you pay close attention, you may still feel that there is a gentle expansion all through the body, even though the arms are not actively lifting up and down anymore. If you're working with the visualization of the light and the candle, inhaling, the light fills the dantian, fills your body, and fills the space around you. Exhaling, the light dims as energy returns to the center of the dantian. Releasing this practice and all visualization, coming back to stillness in Wuji posture, a neutral posture. Noticing how you are feeling, how the breath is seated in the body, your relationship with the earth through the feet, and with the sky through the crown of your head. Having activated the energy, we'll begin to move it around. So taking the feet a little bit wider to shoulder height. Allowing a soft bend in the knees. And wrap the arms gently around the body as we rotate around the spine. Practice called constant bear. Being curious if you can allow the movement itself to arise from the center of your dantian. You can let the head come with you, or you can maintain a forward gaze if you are prone to dizziness. And releasing this movement from the body. Lowering into your stance, sinking the chi. Inhaling, crossing the arms at the wrists, lifting the arms. Exhaling, palms separate as the arms lower, sinking through the posture. Inhaling, pressing the soles of the feet into the earth. Exhaling, lowering the arms down, separating clouds. Arms and hands soft, soft enough to accomplish the impossible task of separating clouds. This practice is said to lift the spirits and clear any dark clouds from around the heart. It can be quite healing in the darkness of winter. If you'd like to take the practice a little bit further, separate the legs and come into horse stance, bending the knees either just a little or more, keeping the back with its natural curve. So the tailbone is dropping straight down. Inhaling, separating clouds. Exhaling, lowering. And a third option still could be to bend forward. Let the arms rise, separate the clouds, going deeper. Choosing a variation of the practice that is appropriate for you today. Releasing this practice from your body, remaining in your horse stance if you wish, or you can remain more upright in neutral posture. Taking one arm overhead, the other one to the belly, and side bending to one side. Exchanging the two arms, side bending to the other side. You might wish to inhale as the arms open, exhale as you side bend. Or you might wish to explore a different breathing pattern. Maybe your breath and your movement want to flow at different paces today. If you are in horse stance, practice looks like this. And releasing this form from the body, coming back to feet shoulder width apart. Pausing in Wuji and neutral posture to notice how you feel now. And taking the palms in front of you and placing them as if on the surface of water. So you might imagine you're standing in a lake, your feet rooted to the earth at the bottom of the lake, your palms resting on the surface of the water. Feeling support through the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Beginning to draw gentle circles on the surface of the water. Slow and gentle. Let the breathing be natural. Noticing the gentle activation in your lower back, alternating gentle squeezing to each kidney, which is located on either side of the spine at the lower back. Maybe allowing the circles to get a little bit bigger now. You can let your eyes follow the hands, even if your eyes are closed. And noticing how that letting the eyes come with can actually create a greater range of movement in your whole body. You can remain here, or you can take a slightly more active version of this form, and that is as your arms come to one side, the other foot steps behind and the knees lower. And coming back, stepping across, arms drawing circles, the other foot comes behind. You sit down in your posture. Either a little bit or bending the knees deeper. Eyes continuing to follow the movement of the arms. Connecting with the flowing nature of the movement, the fluidity of water. And whichever version you've been working with, coming back to the center, palms resting on the surface of the water. Now visualize yourself standing in the ocean and the waves beginning to swell and move your body. So movement here comes from the center of the dantian, from the center of the pelvis. As the pelvis moves forward, the arms move gently back. As the pelvis moves back, the arms counterbalance by moving forward. As if you're standing in the ocean, being moved by the waves back and forth. And let the gaze slightly rise as the pelvis moves forward and slightly lower as the pelvis moves back. Letting the wave propagate from your center all through the body, through the whole spine, all the way to the crown of the head, and down through your legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, your toes. Releasing this practice from your body. Placing the hands back on the surface of the water. And this time imagining that the water is evaporating, creating steam or mist, and your palms are rising with the mist. And the palms will turn to face the body in gentle rain washing down the front of the body. You can bend the knees as you descend. Mist rising. Palms turning to face the body, gentle rain washing down the body. Mist rising. Gentle rain washing, cleansing the front of the body. Mist rising again. This time the palms will turn to face the sides of the body. Gentle rain washing down the sides of the body. The amount you bend your knees depends on you. You can bend them just a little bit, or you can come quite deep into a squat if you wish. It's not a forward fold, but a squat. The soles of the feet, however, remain fully planted on the earth. Mist rising, this time palms face the back of the body, washing down the back of the body. One last time. Coming back, resting the palms on the surface of the water. I'm going to turn the palms up, regulate the chi, inhaling. Bring the palms up towards the heart, exhaling. Turn the palms over, lower them down. Allow the movement of the hands to follow the movement of your breath now. So after the last active form for water, your breath might be a little bit quicker. As we regulate the chi, the breath may begin to naturally slow down. So the movement of your hands slows down as well. Regulating the chi until the chi and the breath both feel settled. Our last practice, tidal waves, begins the same. Inhaling, tide swells. Exhaling, tide lowers. Tide begins to build in the ocean. Inhaling, the tide swells again. This time, extending the arms forward. Water flowing onto the beach. Inhaling, bringing the hands to in front of the heart, water draining, and the tide lowering. Show it from the side. Inhaling, tide begins to swell. Exhaling, tide lowers. Inhaling, tide swells again, this time flowing out onto the beach. Then returning back to the ocean and lowering. A pattern of breath is inhale, exhale. Movement of the hands following the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. At the end of the next cycle, returning back to Wuji posture. Noticing the effects of the practice. Close our practice down. We'll bring our hands to the kidneys and begin to tap down the backs of the legs. Continuing with tapping up the inner legs, up the front of the body, down one inner arm, up the outer arm, across the collarbones, down the other arm, up, and gently over the face, the back of the head, down the neck, backs of the shoulders, and down the spine. And we'll do 2 more circuits like this with tapping. Distributing the energy evenly throughout the body. And with tapping here, we're activating the deepest tissues, the bones, After the next circuit, we'll just place the palms on the kidneys. And we're going to stroke down the same circuit. So using stroking movement now. Same pathway. This accesses the middle layers of the body, the soft tissues, the muscles, the connective tissue. Spreading the energy evenly. If there are any places where tension may have developed throughout our practice or energy has accumulated, this can help redistribute it. And next time we come to the kidneys, we're going to take our hands off the body a little bit. And we're just going to hover our hands down. Again, same pathway, but we're not touching the body anymore. We're just hovering the hands close to the body. And this lets us access the most superficial parts of the body. The skin and some of the energy that's around the body. And parts of the energy field that surround the body. Smoothing the flow of energy through these most outer layers of our being. And when you arrive at the kidneys next, bringing the palms around, resting them at the lower belly, one over the other. Letting the energy settle and store here back at your center.